Welcome to Plays and Parlays. I am your host, Wesley, along with my co-host, Mike P., and the guru, Louisiana T. Well, Tom Thibodeau lost his job. A lot of people say he got out-coached. Tom Thibodeau understood the job he had signed up for. He grew up listening to the Knicks games on the radio and driving home with his family from the Connecticut to go to the games. And he got the job. But now, all of a sudden, he's sitting back out of work after leading the Knicks to the furthest point they had been since about 26 years. Mike, what do you think about this? I mean, does this make sense to you that this guy who's dreamed of coaching or even probably playing for the Knicks at some point in time, loved the team, now all of a sudden he leads them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals? Now he's sitting at home without a job. What do you think about that, Mike?
I mean, it makes sense to me. You know what I'm saying? His style of coaching is tired now. You know what I'm saying? It really is tired. He's a great coach, though. I'm not going to doubt that at all. He's a great coach. He's earned his way. You know what I mean? He's a vet in this thing. You know what I'm saying? But he also has a bad rep as far as the way he coaches as well. If people really pay attention to it, you know what I mean? He has a bad habit of keeping his star players in basically all game. He basically puts these injuries on his players. You know what I'm saying? In my opinion, New York Knicks star power and their talent got them to the Eastern Conference Finals. That's really, I don't feel like the coaching was what got them there. You know what I'm saying? But it's really just a style of play that I feel like was tired, and that's not the way that's going to be able to win. You're getting your players hurt. It's been happening since Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose, basically, his whole career was a nightmare in shambles after that. You know what I'm saying? And that's because Tom Thibodeau got you in all game. He puts all his players, he puts all his faith. It's like it's high school. He has his favorites, and he sticks with his favorites. And that's not the way to coach in the league. You know what I'm saying? You got to be able to have these faith in your players and adjust the right way to be able to get somewhere.
So, I mean, I know. Duly noted. Everything you're saying right there. True. Louisiana, what do you think about this? I mean, was this a just firing? I mean, this guy really, he just led your team. The Knicks have been the abomination of the league for a while now. They haven't really been that good. Let's be honest here. They've had a couple decent little seasons, but they finally put together a decent team here. Do you think this was the best decision for them to make to get rid of their head coach at this point in time?
Well, number one, I'm not surprised. Okay, and the reason I say that is because we see this for years now as far as emotional firings, right after you lose a series or lose a big game, whatever the case is. But when it comes to him, I think coaching actually kept the Knicks from getting into the finals. Game 4 got him canned, in my opinion, because he didn't stick with the adjustments. He kept his bench off the floor when the bench is actually what won him Game 3 to begin with.
And how many minutes did you say that the bench had?
Like 12 for the top person on the bench. And after they had 25 plus Game 3 in the only game that you won up to that point. So like I said, there's certain things that he just was not doing as far as adjustments, right? And
what do you think the biggest adjustment was? I mean, the biggest adjustment he did not make. I know one that I would say, but
I got one for you. Mitchell. I mean, look, when you have a guy that is that big on the defensive side and he doesn't touch the floor in a close game in the fourth quarter, you deserve to lose your job.
He was shutting those guys down. He offensive rebounds. He was dominating on the offensive glass, keeping these guys from just walking to the hole.
He was handling business. He was
handling it. And how many times have I said this whenever we did this before? Anytime Halliburton was coming up and driving into the lane, anytime anybody was coming into the lane, they were getting swatted.
Get out of
because they knew who was in there. And then you take that guy off the floor. He went from like 28 minutes to 12. How does that happen? It shouldn't happen, right? And then you're running your starters ragged.
He didn't even start the next game. I think they started third game. They won.
Yeah.
Why don't you run that squad back? Does it make sense that you don't run that squad right back?
Those are his favorites.
Because Game 5, he did the same thing, right? He starts him. Game 5, kid plays unreal. Game 5, doesn't touch the floor after halfway through the third quarter.
So, but let me give my quick take on this right here. I mean, I honestly feel like this. Okay, he made some major mistakes. They put a lot of money in this team. Everyone says that Dolan's a horrible owner. They said that he makes horrible mistakes. He really ran. New York is the biggest market by far. Is the biggest market. out there. You have to have your sports teams winning. I think they made like $800, almost $1 billion just in their local economy off the playoff games that they were playing. You know what I mean? During their little playoff run, you know, and they could have had more. Imagine that, how much money their local economy made. So it behooves the New York area teams to be good, and it helps the whole entire community around it. What I don't like is the fact that he got your team to the furthest point they've ever been to since 1999, I believe it was, correct? Or 2000, one of the two. You turn around and you fire that guy who basically got the troops in line and got you to this point with minimal talent. I feel like they got two really good guys. They got a few other good, decent. I mean, that's how I feel. I know
that's a statement there.
I don't think anyone considered the Knicks really going to make a run for their money. Really going to take this team to the finals. I don't think anyone considered that. I don't think anyone thought they were going to make it to the Eastern Conference Finals.
So without Brunson and Cat, do you think he could have still did the same thing then? Basically, because you're saying those are the only two talent, right?
No. Those are the big dogs. He couldn't. Of course, he couldn't have done it without them. I'm just saying, like, that's your lead dogs. You cannot without them. You don't even have a team at that point in time. You're pretty much a team full of. You're not even going to make the playoffs with that team. What I'm saying is, you had Julius Randle last year. It's not like, I mean, Big Cat's better than Julius Randle. Yes, by far, I like Big Cat way better. However, is he Eastern Conference Finals better than Julius Randle? Who's to say? But you put that team in line, and you got that team there to this point. You brought excitement back to New York. Who they beat? Who they beat in the series before? It wasn't Boston, was it? Was it Boston? Was it Boston? I'm happy that I didn't know exactly, because I thought it was Boston. You beat Boston the series before this. You get what I'm saying? Like, think about that. I mean, you knock off the team that everyone thought, are they the reigning champions as well?
Yeah.
The reigning champions.
Yep, you beat the bad guys.
I mean, so let's be real right here, right now. You just got rid of your coach who helped you beat a team that nobody here in this room would have betted on you to beat. Nobody. Period. You did that. Who are you going to get and bring in here that's going to change that dynamic and make that team a team that would have gotten over that hump? Because I do believe he did make some mistakes. It happens, but you made some major mistakes. I can't say he did.
I agree. I agree to what you said to a certain degree. The only thing I don't agree with as far as that is just more so New York is a team. It's a beautiful team. That is a beautiful team to me. That is a team that's still going to thrive even with Thibodeau not there. In my opinion, they're gonna still go. That's a playoff contender every time. You know what I mean? That every time now. The team that they built up is something that's very well put together, and they have nice chemistry. As far as they just need to find the right thing. Thibodeau is a great coach. I'm just saying that's literally the only adjustment to me that he needed to be able to make is giving his starters a break. You know what I'm saying? You can't put all this team on just these 5 players. You know what I'm saying?
They're in the running right now for the Giannis Antetokounmpo sweepstakes. This is going to change the whole entire team if you do go after Giannis. You're getting rid of some players.
That would be ugly.
Do you remember what he said once Luka went to LA? Oh, I think all the top European players should be in the biggest markets. I think Luka should be in LA. Jokic should be like in New York or somewhere like that. And you know what I mean? Like, so he's talking about himself too. Now he wants to go. He's telling you, I'm out of here. I'm going to get some real money. Where are you going to go to? Go get some real money and live in a big city. Not living in Milwaukee anymore. I'm out of here. You know what I mean? So if he does go there, you're getting rid of half your team. You're getting rid of Bridges. He's out of here. You're getting rid of Williams. He's gone. You're getting rid of hopefully you don't get rid of Hart. That's why. But OG's gone.
They're getting rid of Mitchell.
I'm sorry. I don't. That's why I meant Mitchell Robinson. That's what I'm saying. He's out of here. You know what I mean? And so you got to kind of look at it from a perspective of like you're either getting rid of OG or you're getting rid of Hart. And I'm not really thinking. I'm thinking, I'm damn. If you might have to give me both of those guys because you're not really giving me anything by Bridges, Mitchell Robinson, and then you have to give me Bridges. You have to give me Hart and OG. Just to even
honestly, that would be something. That would be something I would not want the Knicks to do. I feel like that would be dumb to me. You know what I mean? Like you're giving up everybody for this one player. Basically, you're gonna give up. That's not gonna be easy. You know what I'm saying? You're about to give up everybody. Basically, so you about to basically it's just gonna be starting over. Basically, in a sense, you know what I mean?
You got Brunson. I mean, you can go pick up some role players when you got Brunson, Big Cat, and Giannis. I mean, and then you also still got Hart.
Do you think that would fit well?
Yeah, because I'm gonna tell you
Yeah.
why I think that because of Big Cat. I mean, because of Big Cat, because the way he plays, he's more of a jump shot shooter. He's not always going to be clogging up the lane for you. But both of those two can switch out because Giannis got a little bit of a mid range as well, and Giannis will go into the hole till you give him the ball. He's a driver. He's more of a driver to the hole. He got a little bit of an inside game, but not as much. I think Cat's big inside game is pretty decent as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it'll work out those two because both of those two are kind of like power forward centers. You know what I mean? Either they can switch out either one of those roles right there, and they can start on the court together. You know what I mean? It's not like having Mitchell Robinson, who's not really a scorer, who's everything is going to be a lob to him. It's a little bit different. And then you're going to have Brunson. You got Lob City right here pretty much. At the end of the day, I'm not saying Big Cat got big old hops. He don't. But, you know what I mean? Either way Brunson runs, he got somebody to throw the ball to, and they can jump up and catch it. Then you got Hart, who's kind of the heart and soul of your team. Go get me 4 or 5 little shooters from somewhere, and you know what I mean. What's the guy name that we talked about? Was one guy who played decent in the series? Like, hey, throw him out there with him. You know what I mean? I need a shooter. Just give me somebody who can shoot a 3. I don't care.
Yeah.
Give me some 3-point shooters. You got Giannis. You got 3 guys who are going to average over 20, 25 points a game. Easy money. And you got 2 guys who are going to average. I mean, Towns might get 8 or 9 rebounds, 10 rebounds, but Giannis going to get you over 10.
But you have to have a coach that knows how to play certain roster choices, right?
Absolutely.
As far as when to run them out there, when the sub, all that kind of stuff, right? That coach Thibodeau, he didn't know how to do that.
Yeah,
he just didn't. He was not in control of his team. I think is the reason he got canned at the end, right? I mean, who are you bringing in to replace him now, though? Is the big question, right? I mean, who do you bring in?
No, that's gonna be the news that's gonna be a beautiful topic when it comes up. You know what I mean?
Who's on the bench? Hey, who's on the bench with him right now? Who's on the bench with him? You know who's on the bench with him, right? Brunson's dad's on the bench. I'm not saying he's gonna be their coach, but he's one of the guys who are probably chirping in the owner's ear about what he didn't do during this game. And this is your starter's dad.
I just found that out right now. I did not know that was who was on the bench with him.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
It's interesting because if you look back, Brunson, right after the series was over, he was giving Thibodeau kudos as far as he's a great coach. He's deserved, blah, blah, blah. He's giving him kudos like a day after, right? So this is something that's been in the works since halfway through the series, in my opinion. Like I said, I think after that game 4, they were like, hey, if we lose this, he's gone kind of thing, right? Because this is a team that they built to beat Boston. This is a team that they built to win the East, right?
And you did it, honest. But you did it in a season where Boston was kind of down. This is a down season for them. They're going to be down again next year because Jalen, I mean, you got, what's his name again? He's hurt for next season. Jalen's hurt next year. So it is what it is. I mean, so at the end of the day, you have an opportunity to run this back and do this again on these guys. They're
going to bring in a player. I have a feeling. They're going to bring in a previous player, like not for the Knicks per se. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like a Jason Kidd-esque type of player. Maybe even Jason Kidd, to be honest with you. He could come in and coach the Knicks.
You think he's out of here? Did he get fired over?
No, but they're seeking permission to interview him. I think he's interested in the
hell out of there. I'm getting the hell out of there if I'm him.
Overall, there was just a lot of too much pressure on Thibodeau. Yeah. You know what I mean? You were the number 1 team in the Eastern Conference. I mean, the number 2 team in the Eastern Conference. You know what I'm saying? So it's like the pressure is right there on you, and then you lose. What was Indiana, like the 6th?
Yep.
You lose to the 6th team in the Eastern Conference.
And how they lost, right?
Exactly. Yeah. Exactly. You know what I'm saying?
The comeback in the first game killed them. That's what killed it right there. That took away their confidence for the second game. You know what I mean? Then
there's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way. We were just talking about that. There's no way. It's too common to see this year in these playoffs of how many comebacks you have seen down by 20, 25 points, and they come back like it's nothing. Like it's honestly ridiculous. And you've seen a couple of them in that series with the Knicks and the Pacers. Yep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just like that's honestly ridiculous. That's horrible as a coach. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let me ask you guys this. I mean, we've been seeing a lot of coaches being fired.
Sure.
Coaches who actually have done. It's not like these teams have been sorry. This has actually been pretty good. They've been having good seasons. You look at the firing just happened right before the playoffs of the Dallas, over in Dallas, over for the Denver Nuggets.
Mm-hmm.
They lost their coach. I mean, this guy won a championship 2 years ago. You know what I mean? So it just, to me, it's just been kind of at the same time. Milwaukee, that was a couple years back, I believe.
Sure,
but that was a crazy fire. And they're in second place. They fired their coach. I mean, it's almost feeling like these players have a lot more say so.
Yeah.
Than someone might think they should at this point in time. Because now you fire your coach, and this guy's leaving anyways. He's out of here. You know what I mean? Like, who's to say Jokic is going to stay in Denver?
Yeah.
After they fire him, because they had to ask Giannis. They're not going to just do this without Giannis' permission. It's not going to happen. You're not going to also do what happened in Denver without Jokic. So I mean, and at the same time, you're looking at Brunson and Big Cat. They had to have confirmed, like, hey, we're thinking about getting rid of this dude. Yeah. They don't want these are your franchise players right now. These are your guys.
I feel like some of them in certain situations, the front office are making these decisions because they know that these players right here that they have can take them to a championship. Yeah. And the coach that they have is not going to be able to take them all the way there. So when they see it like not happening the way that it goes down, they let them go. And some of these players, they do probably think like that. No, he's leaving, I'm going to probably leave too. But you got to also look at it like however that contract is set up. They can't hold you. You know what I mean? They can't hold you if they have it set up that way. You know what I mean? Just depending on who you are or what you got, what you signed with. You know what I'm saying? But overall, I feel like these front offices are making that. They're trying to, like how you were saying with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers and everything. They're trying to win now. You know what I'm saying? And if you as a coach cannot get them there when you know you have the star power, the Knicks should be in the finals right now, man.
Yes,
they should be in the finals. You know what I'm saying? And what Thibodeau did, that was. Any person is business. You know what I'm saying? It's business. You're not getting us this ring. You got to go. The way that you move, there's no way. And then it's more so it's not like it's something that's surprising. He coaches like this his whole career. You know what I'm saying? So they tried it out. It didn't work, and they let it go. You know what I'm saying? And it could just be like that way. As far as every other front office is probably a different reason, but I just look at the Knicks as far as that reason. They're trying to win now, and Thibodeau is not the coach that's going to be able to get them. You know what I'm saying? That's my personal opinion.
T, any final words?
You know what? I agree with that statement, man. I think he's just not the guy for that team. I don't think he's really a right fit for the Knicks. I think he don't get me wrong, he had a lot to do with the season. I thought he made a lot of good calls during the season. But once it came down to it and really the big game situations, he choked. You know, and that's how I'm looking at it. I don't think he's a good fit for them moving forward.
It's tough to see happen, but I mean, when you ask me, his finals performance, it was pretty tough. You know what I mean? It was pretty messed up in his finals performance there. At the same time, you got to look at what he actually did. He did get these guys all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals. He beat Boston. He beat Boston, man. That's a juggernaut.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So, you know, it was before Tatum got hurt. Jason Tatum, I'm sorry. I called him Jalen earlier. Sorry about that, guys. But it was before he got hurt. This was a Boston team that everyone expected to probably end up in the finals again this year. Yeah. He beat them with a team that I don't believe were better than them overall. They were probably healthier, younger, ready to go, you know what I mean, a little bit, but they weren't better in my eyes. So that's where I kind of gets me to a point where I'm like, should they have fired this guy? But we'll see next year where they end up next year with a new coach, with the same player. If they have the same players and they run it back. This is Plays and Parlays. See you next time.